In the last episode we rode inland to cross the Humber Estuary at the magnificent Humber Bridge. In doing so we entered Yorkshire, or at least the East Riding thereof, and got back to the east coast at Withernsea. Take a look at the map and you'll see we're well and truly entering England's north. In this episode we'll make our way up the coast as we head to Scarborough. We hope you'll stay with us as we discover some interesting places along the way. So far, the east coast has proved to be the most challenging stretch for keeping close to the sea. There's not been many long stretches where the coast has been visible from the saddle. The fact there aren't many coast roads here is due to a number of factors, such as geography, geology, erosion, economy, popularity and accessibility. The upside of this is the places tend to be more natural, rugged and barren, and at times we really felt like we've been transported back in time. Is that the ones you saw on Google Maps?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. This is where it drops off the cliff.
The road ends.
Yeah, it didn't always end though, did it?
No.
Should we get up and have a quick look?
Yeah.
Okay, so we come up the coast from Hornsey to this place. It's not really a place. There's this private land here with these mobile homes on them, and as you can see, the tarmacked road just suddenly stops. And it suddenly stopped because of the cliff erosion that's here. And it's there's lots of the east coast that suffers from this cliff erosion. Now I'm not sure how much of an overhang we're on. We're not, we're okay I think. Yeah, we're okay. Yeah, I don't think our weight is going to do anything with that anytime soon, but there's already a crack there, isn't there? I'm not sure how far the road went, or indeed where it went to. But presumably it went to at least a car park or something.
Yeah.
That's not there anymore. And no, there's nothing they can do about it. And they just leave it. They put the concrete things up here and then stop people coming down. And they just leave it. But these people, and they've got a big, see the poly tent thing? Dome? It's almost like a communal area they've built. And the beauty of their situation, I guess, is they can just keep edging back a little bit, can't they?
Oh wow, lovely beach. Lots of it. Oh, a nice harbour too. Looks quite a big place, doesn't it? Bridlington Spa.
The Bridlington Spa is the town's premier entertainment venue. It opened in 1896 and, in its heyday, hosted the likes of David Bowie and Morrissey. The building has recently been refurbished and has since begun to attract well-known names again. In 2014, a blue plaque went up for Wallace Hartley, the leader of the orchestra, playing as the Titanic sank.
Lots of fishing boats down there. Oh, smell. Lovely fishy smell. Where they get the boats in and out. Interesting place.
Yeah, busy.
Yeah.
Although it mainly relies on tourism, there's clearly a very strong community here. You feel like you're visiting somewhere that would still exist without you. As a sea fishing port, the town is known for shellfish, and is the largest lobster port in Europe, with over 300 tonnes of the crustaceans landed each year.
There's another Papa's fish and chips.
Oh, it's very pleasant.
Yeah, very nice, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a road. Oh, it says, what does it say on the sign?
No vehicles except for loading.
Yeah.
So,
better not then. Look at those 3 old grannies sat in there.
yeah.
Electric buggies. Fantastic.
Under starter's orders.
Yeah. Oh, they look brilliant. They look raring to go. Perhaps they're going to go to the top of that little harbour road we just saw that no vehicle access and race down.
Yeah, all dressed up as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, that's great.
Going out for Sunday lunch, or been out for Sunday lunch. There's been some amazingly beautiful churches. Oh, there's another church.
There's a lot of history here dating back to the Bronze Age and Roman times. The Priory Church of St Mary and associated Bayle or Gate are Grade 1 listed buildings on the site of an Augustinian Priory. On February the 10th, 1871, tragedy struck when a great storm hit the East Yorkshire coast and over 100 vessels were lost. Many ships were using an area known as the Bay of Refuge in Bridlington to shelter from the bad weather, but when the wind suddenly changed direction, at least 23 ships ran aground or were wrecked against the harbour walls. It's thought as many as 70 seamen perished on that awful day. At the time, Bridlington had 2 separate lifeboats, the RNLI's Robert Whitworth and a locally owned vessel named the Harbinger. Both boats were launched multiple times, saving several lives. Tragically, as the Harbinger was attempting to save the crew of the brig Delta, a huge wave engulfed both boats. The Harbinger capsized and tragically 6 of the local lifeboat men were drowned. Most of the vessels lost were carrying overloaded cargoes of coal, which made them very vulnerable to sinking. Back in episode 19, I was struggling to find something to say about Folkestone other than it was the birthplace for Samuel Plimsoll. The disaster led him to petition Parliament to introduce a new law to prevent ships being dangerously overladen by introducing the painting of a line on the hull. Plimsoll lines, as they became known, are still used in international shipping today. To this day, traces of coal can be found on the beach, and it's suspected that these date back to the Great Gale. Many of the victims are buried in a mass grave at Priory Church, and a service has been held at the church every February since the tragedy. Like many English towns, Bridlington celebrates its heritage with traditional parades. More recently, an event called Race the Waves has emerged. Based upon speed trials that were held here in the early 1900s, what started as a motorcycle gathering has quickly become a parade of retro and custom cars and bikes.
Flamborough Head, I think it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
The oldest lighthouse in the UK, built in 1620, I think it said. That's an old lighthouse. There it is, coming up. Oh, just get the view though.
I think that's the old original lighthouse. Is that what you think? That
Yeah, I
one
think
there?
that's the
And
1610 one. Yeah.
And the one
On the
in
left
distance
here.
is the modern one. Yeah, okay.
There it is. This lighthouse was actually built in 1669, but was never kindled. It is made of chalk and is the oldest surviving complete lighthouse in England.
And there's some really interesting little coves with some amazing rock formations, a bit like what we've got round Lulworth, I think, you know, type arches and things.
So here we are at Flamborough Head, and this is the modern, I don't expect it's that modern though, it looks it's a couple of 100 years old possibly, lighthouse. But the old lighthouse, as you can just see in the distance there, it's the oldest lighthouse in the United Kingdom, dates from the 1600s.
Flamborough Head's other lighthouse was built in 1806 and is still operating as a waypoint for passing sea traffic. It does guided tours where you can climb the 119 steps to experience spectacular views. Flamborough Head is one of the magnificent areas of sheer white chalk cliffs in Britain, reaching 400 foot high. The cliff line includes stacks, arches and blowholes, as well as caves, where the largest one extends more than 50 metres from the coastal entrance. The cliffs are home to an estimated 200,000 nesting birds and is also one of only 2 mainland colonies of the northern gannet, an amazing seabird that you may have seen dive bombing into the sea to catch fish for lunch.
Yeah, are you coming along the footpath? Okay, so that's Flamborough Head. Lovely. Very nice. Lovely bit of coastline. Now we're off to on another section of maps. Just loaded them up. We're off to Robin Hood's Bay. And it's 2 hours away, according to this. Now we were debating whether or not it was north or south of Scarborough, weren't we? We seem to think it's north of Scarborough. If that's the case, then we're going to be beyond Scarborough. And we thought we'd be lucky if we would get to Scarborough today. Lovely, isn't it?
We've recently hit 500 subscribers and would just like to say a big thank you very much for watching. Please like and leave a comment.
Go this way.
Where are we again?
Filey.
Oh yeah, Filey. That's the steep one.
Yeah, lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
In 1806, the Gentleman's magazine described Filey as an escape from the boisterous crowds of Scarborough and a place of simple pleasures. From what we saw, I don't think it's changed much.
Very pleasant. I think we've entered a caravan park. Oh, it says it goes. Yeah.
It does do.
Camping.
Is that like a town caravan park then? Do you see what I mean? It's almost like a public place to pitch up.
Yeah, it does look like that, I agree.
Yeah. Very pleasant.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Very pleasant. Nice walks down to the beach.
We were impressed with the Filey Country Park, a large open space at the top of the cliffs north of the town. It had a huge car park where you can set up for the day and use as a base while you enjoy the views, walks and open spaces. All the usual facilities were on site and the town and beach are not too far away to walk. If you wanted to stay over, there's an adjoining touring park.
Not lovely.
Yeah. Really nice. What a lovely recreational area, public area.
Yeah, super.
Thank you for sticking around until the end. We hope you've enjoyed the ride with us and will join us again next Friday. In the meantime, if you haven't seen previous episodes, why not catch up? Or simply keep going around the coastline with us every Friday until you arrive back here